guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another layout from our Sketch Jumpstart series. Today I'm going to show you how I created this layout based off of the sketch, but then also making my homemade donut embellishments. So I showed you that I used two different nested circle dies, the smallest one from my stash and then kind of a middle one that would be the outside of the donut. And then I cut that in both brown. I have different shades of brown here, and then also some multicolored paper. Now I could go with, maybe like dots of paper to make it look like chocolate or whatever, but I just decided to do the multicolored one. I feel like that just gives that a little bit of design and some character, just a funky character that I'm looking for my donuts. Now, I am just freehanding kind of a scallop swirly edge for the frosting, I should say. And so if you are afraid of kind of freehanding that, you can always use some kind of a scallop circle, and then that will give you like that perfect scallops on the edges. But I sometimes like the messy look and the imperfect look that could happen when you're just running your scissors through the edge of a shape like a circle. So this sketch actually goes where I'm actually going to turn the sketch 90 degrees so that instead of those blocks of paper going on the bottom of my layout, it's going to go on the left, and it's going to be in a vertical position instead of horizontal. That's because my photos are horizontal in nature, and so I thought that I would match the sketch to the size, or sorry, the orientation of my photos. And I'm using scraps of paper here, so I'm just kind of going through like little bits and pieces here and there, cutting trims, cutting blocks. So now I'm going to cut some scallop edge with this multicolored paper, and I really love how bright and bold the colors are for this one. And I'm just using my Fiskars border punch here. This is one of my favorites, and then I'm just going to go through that. Now I will have my Fiskars stuck here sometime. It's this part, and so what I do is I just try to release that either with my hand or with a scissor, as you can see, and I'm not cutting into it, I'm just pushing into that metal, and so I'm not going to ruin my tool because of that. I think it has something to do with it hasn't been used in a long time because I don't get to scrapbook as often as I used to. And also, I think it's not as sharp enough anymore. So I have to remedy that one of these days. So I am making my panel a little bit wider by combining that strip that says my happy place or find your happy place, and then the multicolored strips, and then also that block of clear, or no, not clear, but beige paper. That is one way that you can use your scraps and still make like a big enough size for your background or your photo, is combining them and making them a larger panel than if you were just using like a solo piece of paper. And then I am cutting into this one 12 by 12 sheet, but that's just because I can't find anything in my scraps. I was looking for a paper that has some kind of pattern, preferably circles, but then it's subtle enough that I can put some things on there that it wouldn't conflict. So I found this one, and I believe it's a winter themed paper, but I just like the swirls on there. It just reminds me of donuts. So speaking of donuts, here are the pictures. I have 3 pictures here. We have this donut place in town, and it's fairly, I shouldn't say far, because I mean there's some places that have way farther, the distance between you and like your main square or whatever is further, but we do have this donut place, and it's down south of our city, and we rarely go there because we never go downtown or down south. So on our way back from a camping trip, we knew that we were coming from the south side. So we said, why not stop at Amy's Donuts? And they're not like, I don't want to say there's really nothing grand about them, but my favorite part of this donut place is that they have over 30 flavors. Like they have so many different kinds of flavored donuts. So they're not, as far as like quality, it's not the best. I think I would take Krispy Kreme over it, but I do love trying out different types of flavors. So this time we got just a half dozen because they are expensive, and then everybody got to pick a flavor, and then we would cut them, and so everybody will have a sampling. But I think mine was like something with bacon. Then my husband had something with coconut. The mini marshmallows, I think that's from my youngest. And then one of my big kids grabbed one that's like a peanut buttery or something. But I just like trying all the different flavors and seeing how they all taste. Now, that happiness word, that came from a pattern paper that I have, again, I'm using scraps, so I've cut into it. So as you can see, the top of the ESS is a little bit cut off, but that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cover that up with some embellishments so that it would look like that part of that word was just tucked into it. And you know what? At the end of the day, I don't think my family is going to be too upset with me that the words were cut off. They would almost always just read the journaling and look at the pictures to remind them of that specific event. And that's really the important thing of scrapbooking for me. So I made 6 donuts, and I did ink up the edges of those swirly centers. I shouldn't say swirly, but the colorful papers that I have in the center. I inked up the edges just to make it stand out a little bit more against the other cardstock circle that I created for it. And then I'm going to add them in 3 different places, 2 on each side, and one will be adhered with foam adhesive so that it will be raised, and then another one with just flat. Now, I like the script of this thicker, and again, this is very old, and as you can see, I'm peeling this off and it's just not coming off. It was such a pain to get out, and I even ripped some of them. So what I am going to do is I am going to push forward and try to get the word donut out of it, but then you're going to be proud of me, friends, because I will chuck the whole thing. Like, I don't care if there's like, oh, there's vowels still in there and I could still make a word. No, I'm just going to throw it in the trash because there's no point. And I feel like, I think, thickers are usually like $3, $4, and I've had it for at least 5 years. So I think I've used up my money, and I'm just gonna throw it away. So that's one of the things that I have learned in my previous series of digging up through my stash, is that sometimes you just need to let it go. There is just no point in saving all these little things in our scrap room. So again, I am just completing my visual triangle here. And I believe, no, that's right. So I still kept the placement of the title the same, although now it's a different orientation. And then I will add my journaling. Instead of a block, I'm going to have them as strips. And so I debated if I would type it up, but I was kind of lazy, and so I just handwritten it. But if I were to do it again, I would type it up, just because I had a lot more to say than maybe like 3 strips of paper. But it's all good. Sometimes we need to have some handwriting in our layouts too, so that's one of the things that our family will remember us by. So I used some scraps of that beige paper that I used for the background with the photos, and then I just cut like 1/4-inch strips of that, and then just start writing the things that I wanted to say. In the beginning, I was adhering the strips with just some ATG gun, but I found that liquid glue is actually better, because then you can get into the very tips, and you can move them around too to make sure that they're straight. So that's what I decided to go moving forward. And then I'm just gonna basically finish this off with some stickers as embellishments and then call it a day. If you like these videos, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. If you have any questions, make sure to leave that in the comment section below. I don't always answer fast, but I do look into the comments and try to answer as fast as I can. And then the final step before the embellishment would be trying to figure out where I can put. No, I think what I'm going to do first is embellishment, because the top of that top photo, there is some white space there, and that's kind of bugging me. Like, I was thinking of maybe adding sticker there like the donut, but then it just didn't match there. So I'm gonna find a different spot for this donut picture, I mean sticker. And then I have this camera which was really cute, and I thought, okay, that's the perfect size and perfect element to go on that top right, or sorry, left space of that photo, and that's going to work well for me. And if you ever see me tapping, that means that I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what's next? What am I going to do? How am I going to finish this off? And so I'm just kind of looking around, trying to see what other stickers I can add to this. I like the circular sticker, the emoji one, because it repeats the circle element or circle shape that I was going for with the donuts, and the scallop circle, and also the circle from the one of the pattern papers. And now I'm going to go on to putting the date, and this time I actually don't know where to put it. In my mind, I could have put it like on the bottom of my journaling, but then I don't know if it's going to show with all of the swirlies. And so I'm kind of moving things around. I haven't stamped it. Maybe I could put it on the bottom, but that's too skinny. And so I'm going to end up with the very top. And first go, and it was perfect. So I'm happy with that. And then I decided, well, maybe I could add some shimmer to the frosting part of my donuts, but then I realized that my glimmer pen is all out, so I'm going to throw that away too. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Here are some close-ups, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.